Today, I want to talk about a myth that was brewed into my thought process as a result of the research I had done on life in Canada that I found was just a myth and had nothing to do with reality. And that was that in Canada, you cannot find a job unless you have Canadian experience, and you cannot get Canadian experience unless you have a job. So it's kind of a chicken and egg story, whether the chicken came first or the egg came first, kind of thing, a never ending debate. And this was very much the concept around 2 to 3 years ago. People used to think that no matter what background they come from, they have to start from very uh, low level jobs in Canada. Let's suppose you are a general manager in some company in Dubai or India, and you come to Canada and you have to sweep the floors or you have to do the dishes in some restaurant, or you have to do such things that you would not think or consider doing in your homelands. But that's not been the case, at least not so in my scenario. Like, I did even apply for those jobs because obviously, as a newbie in Canada, I had absolutely no benchmark set up that I would do jobs that are above this level. No, I just wanted anything. I wanted to grab any opportunity that came my way, or even if I didn't see anything coming my way, I wanted to bring it my way and avail it to the best of my ability to start making some money, because I was spending in dollars, and the proof of funds that I had brought from my homeland to Canada was getting washed away like anything. It was like water flowing down the drains. So, because you can see how expensive the cost of living in Canada is, I was paying rent and I had to pay the rent of the last month upfront as well. So, my rent was $1,800. So, I had to pay $3,600 upfront just for the first and the last month's rent. And then add to it the groceries and everything. And when you come to Canada, the first time you start life afresh there, you begin your life from scratch. So you have to make one-time investments in a lot of areas, like buying mattresses, like furniture, buying sofa, buying cutlery, buying kitchen equipment, and all those things. So that takes a good chunk of your proof of funds around. You could say, even if you try not to spend too much, even then you should consider setting aside 2 to 3 grand for that purpose. So yeah, in the beginning, a lot of money was being spent on a lot of things, and there was absolutely no earning coming from anywhere. So I did apply for a few jobs where I saw, as I was going past a restaurant, there was an ad displayed on the front door, dishwasher needed. So I did apply even for that, and I did apply for a cook job as well. I was just ready to grab anything. But fortunately, you may say, I never heard back from those places. I came to Canada in on 17 February 2023, and my first day of job was 24 April 2023. I could have started a little earlier as well, but since there was Ramadan and then Eid and all that going on, so I just wanted to get done with that and then start the job. So maybe I could have started a week earlier as well. But yeah, I officially started out at 24 April 2023, and that was as a technical sales specialist, where I worked from home trying to sell the packages and SIMs of a mobile company to customers, bringing customers over from other companies to my uh, uh, mobile company, telling them what value it held for them, what kind of packages they could avail, and what services we could offer that would provide them with value in comparison to what they were getting from our competitors. So that was my first job, and I did that job throughout May, June, July, and up until 16th of August, when I found a job in my own profession that was engineering related. So the thing I wanted to say was that I did not have any Canadian experience. So to say that you cannot find good jobs without Canadian experience, I have not experienced that. In my case, I have been able to find good jobs without any Canadian experience. Even the first job as a technical sales specialist was a gem of a job to have for a newbie, for somebody who's just come to Canada, because I got the privilege of working from home. There were absolutely zero expenses associated with traveling or commuting from and to work, to workplace, to home. I did a lot of saving there, and then I was in the comfort of my home with my family. I could see my family all day long. I could do little things here and there, like getting myself a cup of coffee, or using the bathroom, or talking to my spouse, or a lot of things get managed pretty easily when you work from home. So yeah, I think that was a very good job, and everything I keep very transparent. I don't hide things. So yeah, I was making after taxes $2,100 off of that job, and add to that the commission that I was getting by selling the Sims. So that made around $2,400 after taxes per month. So for somebody starting afresh in Canada, getting such kind of a job was very good, and I had absolutely no experience in that. I had no Canadian experience. I had no sales experience, to so to speak, and I didn't have any technical sales specialist experience from where I came in Canada. But I got this job. It's just about how you word your resume, how do you present yourself, how do you showcase your skills in the resume, because your resume is the only document that would speak on your behalf and for you. So however much time you take to craft a good resume, that's totally worth it, because in Canada, jobs matter a lot. Like jobs pay off for your cost of living. You cannot underestimate, oh, it's just a job, and you should start business. Why are you even thinking about jobs? For people who are starting life afresh in Canada, starting from scratch, starting a business is a risk, because they're just struggling with everything in Canada. I think my personal perspective is that you should not consider starting a business unless you have done a market research, and you have a business strategy, and you are aware of all of the parameters that affect the profitability of your business, and including the stakeholders, including the people's interest, including what's required and what's not, including what's people's buying behavior, the culture, the trends, everything. And also you should consider spending time with or speaking to people who are already in that business, and learning from their mistakes and trying to get some input from them. Also, you should get some input from the services Canada has to offer for people who want to start businesses in Canada, including the grants they can get from the government and all that. So yeah, that does take a little time. I don't think you should step into that before you get pretty much used to or get a fair awareness of the culture and the system of Canada. So for somebody who's just come to Canada, starting with a job is a very good thing to do. And yeah, so I just wanted to convey that in my case, I have not experienced that you cannot land a good job in Canada without Canadian experience. I was not only able to land the job as a technical sales specialist, but also as a project coordinator or a project manager in an engineering field. I personally used to think, as a civil engineer, I can never get engineering job without a professional engineering license. That's why I didn't even apply for the engineering jobs for a fair amount of time after coming to Canada. Like, why did I get this technical sales specialist job and not an engineering job? The reason was that I had never applied for an engineering job, because I was made to think, based on my own research, that you cannot work as an engineer unless you have a professional engineering license. No, it's not the case. There are only certain roles that you cannot fulfill unless you have that designation, but you can pretty much do a lot of different kinds of work without the professional engineering license. You can be a project coordinator, you can be a project manager, you can do management, you can do a lot of these things. You can do estimation and all that. That makes part of our scope of work. So yeah, I did get an engineering job and a management oriented job without a professional engineering license as well. So no Canadian experience required, no professional engineering license required. Having said that, it's a very good thing if you are an engineer to start looking into getting the professional engineering license, and especially if you have the expertise of management, start looking into getting the PMP certification, because that is valued a lot here. The PMP certification is a project management professional certification. So yeah, those are the kind of things that I am also eligible to apply for, and I will consider applying, because I just have to go through their criteria and eligibility, and how to go about that, and I'll be doing that shortly in the near future. But yes, I was able to land a job without that. So just don't think that you can't get a good job in Canada without a Canadian experience or a license or anything like that. Just keep applying, just craft a good resume. If you want my help crafting a Canadian style resume, you can send me your details and I can craft a resume for you for a little fee. You would find my WhatsApp number for that in the description below. Other than that, I would say yes, my journey has not been so bad. I was able to find good jobs, and I wish all the best to all the prospective immigrants and people who want to come to Canada to work, to start life here, to get the best and the most out of their time in Canada. Hopefully you like this video. Do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.